Colorado's best legal expert, Phil Harding, is back to go over huge verdicts in the news. So we hear about these million-dollar verdicts in personal injury lawsuits, but really how much is paid and what can our viewers do to get all the money they deserve?
Yep. Big topic that we're going to talk about. I want our viewers to get an understanding of the difference between a multi-million-dollar verdict versus how much is paid to the individual.
Awesome. So, okay, if there is a $10 million verdict, the injured people may not get that amount of money. You've told me this before. It's awarded, but it doesn't mean they're going to get it.
Yep. It depends upon, you need to look at the insurance and you need to look at who you're suing. Let's take this example of a $10 million verdict. First, you have to look at policy limits. And what policy limits are is the person that injured someone, the insurance policy that's on that car. And so those policy limits could be $25,000, it could be $25 million. Generally, in horrific cases where there would be a verdict of like $10 million, those entire policy limits are offered up even before a lawsuit is filed. So I want to go over kind of when you're looking at recovery, what you look for. First of all, and these may be different people, if you are borrowing someone's car, there may be two levels of insurance. You look to the owner of the car first, what kind of insurance they have. Then you look to the driver of the car, what kind of insurance they have. Most of the times they're the same person. Next, you look if there's a company involved. So if there's a company involved, they may have a general liability policy that can stack on top of it. So right here, there may be different levels that you can stack on top of each other.
All right, so if you get a verdict, that doesn't mean the defendant has to pay the money, right?
Yeah, a lot of people, they see a verdict and they're like, oh, well, you have to pay that. A verdict is not an order to pay it, it's just a judgment. And so let's talk about kind of what a judgment is and who you can collect from. And we saw this, but let's go to this graphic. All right, first of all, you would collect from all insurance companies that are out there. Again, if the owner and the driver are different people, if there's an insurance company that's out there. But now let's look and let's say you went and got a $10 million verdict, the owner, the driver, the insurance company has all paid everything that they have and you still have excess of millions of dollars. You can try to collect personally from the defendant, the person who caused that. And how you would do that is you would garnish the bank accounts. If it's an individual, generally there's not that much money there. If someone owns property, you know, like a house, you can file a lien on that. But throughout all of this, you have to watch out for bankruptcy. So that's why you really need to analyze this case from the beginning. So if there's bankruptcy, everything could get flushed. You would get the money from the insurance company, but all the excess, that would disappear. So
someone can file bankruptcy?
Yep, absolutely. Now let's talk about this verdict and how someone would get rid of it. Now there are exceptions, but you have to watch out, and really from the beginning of the case, to see what kind of insurance is out there and if they could get out of it because of bankruptcy. Now there are exceptions to getting rid of verdicts in bankruptcy. If someone has willful and wanton conduct, or if you have punitive damages that can be awarded against someone, those cannot be discharged in bankruptcy.
All right, how can someone make sure they get paid for all of their damages? Is there a way to do that?
Yeah, it's kind of like health insurance. People have health insurance not only just for regular things, but what if something catastrophic happens? There's the same thing that's on your own car insurance. It's called uninsured, underinsured. And sometimes the acronym UMUIM. Look, you can't control who runs into you. You can control how much UMUIM you have. So make sure you have at least $100,000. And then if you have renter's insurance with the same place that you have car insurance and also homeowner's insurance, you can get something that's known as an umbrella that could add $1 million of coverage onto that. So again, we're looking at this. You're looking at the levels of insurance. You can stack all of these: owner of car, driver of car, your own uninsured, underinsured. If you have an umbrella, and these are cheap, you know, generally like $400 or $500. Also, do you live with other people that have cars? I know you weren't in those cars, but there's a thing called resident relative. So if you're a resident relative and someone else in your household has a car, that can be used to stack on as well.
Wow, that's good information. All right, if you have a question for our legal expert, go to kdvr.com and click on Colorado's Best. You're going to see Phil Harding's photo on the right. Just click there and send in your questions, and he will answer each question personally and confidentially. And to reach Harding and Associates directly, call 303-762-9500. You can also get a free consultation anytime, and you can find him online at hlaw.com.